Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are here with another book review and I'm really excited about this one. I think SJM is my favorite author for fantasy. I have to say so. And if that was any hint, there's only 3 series it could be and I've already done 2 of them. So let's get on with the Crescent City book review. I am absolutely obsessed with this series. I love it. It was a 5 out of 5 series for me. Each book, however, was not. Pretty close though. Okay, we'll start with Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, Book 1. So it is set in Crescent City, obviously. It's an urban fantasy where humans, fae, angels, shifters, witches, etc. live along modern tech like cell phones and laptops, all that sort of tech. Whereas Akatar and Throne of Glass, they do not have any of that. So that was new and brought into this. We are following the protagonist Bryce Quinlan, who is half fae, half human, with sharp wit, and she is labeled the party girl. Tragedy strikes her friend group. In the first 5 chapters, what you think is going to be a love story between 2 people is quickly derailed by events that follow, and then basically the whole first book is just her trying to figure out why this happened and what happened and why and what secrets her best friend Danica was hiding from her. After all that happens, she is forced to join Hunt. I don't know how to pronounce his last name whatsoever. I'm not even going to try. I don't want to give you the book. When I don't know how to pronounce something, I just label it my own, and that's just how my brain is able to read some of the difficult names that SJM brings in. Like with Throne of Glass, Kale was Chow. Chow. Before I knew it was Kale, then I switched it to Kale, but I would go back and forth reading his name just because it was hard. However, Hunt is a powerful fallen angel who is also enslaved by a powerful archangel. Archangels are basically the rulers and right-hand mans of the Asteri who are very powerful. But he is enslaved to the Asteri, but like the archangel who's control him and are his leaders are also part of the Asteri, so it's like confusing. But when they are working together, they do uncover a conspiracy that is brought out through everything she does in this book. Some of the highlights of themes are grief and healing, which Bryce goes through so much after the first 5 chapters, but the first 5 chapters, like, I still can't get over how it started. Like, it really started off with a bang, and I don't know how we'll ever get over that. But she goes through rebuilding herself after losing her closest friend, and who probably would have been her husband had she not met Hunt. Mystery and thriller elements. The book starts as a murder investigation, making it more than straight fantasy. So, yeah, she is uncovering the truth about Danica's murder while uncovering that Danica was keeping secrets for her and that maybe she didn't know Danica as well as she thought. Found family, relationships, not just romance, that carry emotional weight. Obviously, she has to have a gang helping her, so we quickly find a gang. It has so many strong emotional beats that readers do get emotionally invested. I am still emotionally invested, and I finished the series. I do not want to wait 2+ years for book 4. I need to stop getting involved in series that aren't finished. But I mean, I started ACOTAR, it wasn't finished. I started Fourth Ring, it's not finished. It's just life of a reader, I guess. The ending is especially intense. Like, I was reading this with my book club, and we were supposed to read book 3 next month, but after I waited half the month to get to book 2, I was like, I'm not doing this again, and went from book 2, read a book, and then book 3. So, but the ending is so intense. It does have a very, very slow start. The world building is very heavy and intense, and you get a little lost. But after about they're 800-page books. After the first 200 to 300 pages of heavy world building, the story, while telling some of the story really, really takes off after that. Like, you won't regret it. I feel like with all of SJM's books, they all start off heavy world building. I would say the only one that didn't, because I didn't read Assassin's Blade first, I know, I'm sorry, would be Throne of Glass, because Throne of Glass just jumps right into it. Had I read Assassin's Blade first, I would have been lost and been like, yeah, a lot of world building. But once she gets past the world building, we're in the story. We're smooth sailing. And then the character dynamics we have are Bryce's friendships and her bond with Hunt, which is central. And she has a lot of friendships that help her defeat the power when she figures it out. She works for Jessica, which they have a weird relationship. But while she's working with Jessica, she meets a fire sprite named Lahaba. The ending of this book took me out. I was sobbing. I love Lahaba. That's all I'm going to say. You'll know if you've read or when you read. Okay? And her little pet lion something, Syrinx. I love them. I love Syrinx, Lahaba, and Bryce all together. And then Hunt just watches her over from across until he's invited in. And Lahaba loves Hunt. It's just that whole storyline of the friendships and Hunt and just the protective alpha. It's just like... Something people do complain about, though, is SJM's use of alpha hole instead of asshole. Alpha hole, like, where did we come up with this? Where did we come up with this? Like... It was a little odd, but I mean, it is what it is, right? The final sections of the book wrap up so fast and emotional. I was sitting there crying like the last 10 pages. Like, out of nowhere. I would tears would be coming down, and then it got to the part in the Antiquities? I don't know. Like I said, I just make up words. And I was just reading while my tears were just falling rapidly down my face. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm going to cry just thinking about the ending to this book. So good. And for this book, I'll give you my Fable review. Let me find that for you. I gave it a 4.5. I was mind blown. I love SJM's writing style. The only reason this isn't 5 stars is because there was a lot of world building at first. It was slow and very confusing. Not as slow as ACOTAR started out, but a little slower than Throne of Glass. I loved every minute of it. You get your heart ripped out 5 chapters in. The last 30 chapters are actually a roller coaster. I loved, cried, laughed, raged, all of it. This book was amazing, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of the series has in store. I'm sure it will only get better from here. Bryce is a badass. That's all I have to say. I cannot spoil what happens. I do not want that floating out there for anyone to find or think they want to know, but you absolutely do not know. And that brings us to book 2, The House of Sky and Breath. Ow. Okay. After the events in book 1, Bryce and Hunt are trying to find their place in peace. But unrest grows beneath the city's surface. This one was crazy. I mean, we have hell being brought in, and it's just insane. A rebel movement deeper political corruption, the oppressive rule of the Asteri drive the action. So, in book 1, we learn that we know that Hunt is the Umbra Mortis, the Shadow of Death, and he is so powerful, and he had led a rebellion before of the Fallen, but he lost it to the Asteri. He's tried to be part of a rebel movement and failed before. Here we are. He's being brought back into it. He is hesitant, but knows Bryce wants to do it, and he's not letting her do it alone. So, we also see their relationship growing more, and what they're going to do against the Asteri. There is more world lore, new characters, and higher stakes that expand the series' narrative and scope. The book shifts towards political conflict and rebellion, whereas book 1 was murder mystery vibes. Hunt has a lot of conflict of what to do and what's best, whereas Bryce doesn't want to put him through it and also is hesitant of what's right. She's still learning more about Danica and all the secrets Danica kept while trying to figure out how to navigate it and basically finishing what Danica started and making a difference. Allies in this book are so crucial. She becomes closer with her half-brother Rune. Tharian, who is part of the mermaids. Well, but they're mermaids. Half human, half mer. Hypaxia, the witch queen, and others, which enrich all their people. There is one where I think Ethan, I think that's how you pronounce it, is brought back, and everyone is really hesitant to trust him because he just hated Bryce. At this point, it's at the end, he is brought and helps her, but he hated her for what happened to Danica and the Pack of Devils, and he just really held a grudge, and eventually he lets it go, and in the 3rd book, he's very crucial. The ending pushes the story into new territory, potentially beyond the original setting of the book. It brings out, there's demons, which Hunt is originally a demon hunter, and there is a demon called the Cristellos, I think it is. Is that, I don't know. Like I said, I get so tripped up with these names, it's not funny. And they find out why Bryce is never attacked, but they think that demon is what killed Danica and the Pack. Or is this the 1st book? I don't know. They all become all in the same. But I do know hell is unleashed at one point. No, is that the 1st book still? What is this one? Yeah, this is... okay, that's the 1st book. The hell is unleashed, and that's when all this stuff goes down. So Ethan is in this book and is very important. But now what we're doing is reaching things the Asteri has kept a secret and finding out who else is part of this rebellion, and it is a brighter scope than we thought. And they're just making their way to uncover the secrets of the Asteri. Some positive feedback is the world building and emotional journey you go on, of course. Many say it's worth powering through the slow start, but the payoff is huge. And some critiques is that there's too many characters at once, which I do agree. It is a little confusing, and too many are brought in at once that you may not really get for a while. Themes are grief, identity, and power. Not just magic battles, but deeper emotional struggles. Especially for Bryce, going through feeling like she didn't really know her best friend, while also trying to still navigate the friendship she has and whatnot. And then Hunt is trying to find himself and figure out who he should be, who he could be, because the Asteri want them to lie low. But of course, once Bryce gets an idea in her head, nothing is stopping her. Modern fantasy mix. Fantasy rules in the modern day city with tech and magic, which we've already discovered and know from book 1. And then the romantic elements are there are slow burning relationships with emotional stakes. Okay, and I will give you my review for that one. Oh, I forgot the biggest point. At the end of book 2, you are given an ACOTAR crossover. Hello? An ACOTAR crossover? Which makes me excited for the next ACOTAR books because they have to mention Bryce. They have to. Anywho, my review. I gave it a 4.8 out of 5. It cannot just end like that. This is why it didn't get a full 5 stars. Even though it deserves it, I am upset at the ending. It is such a cliffhanger with all the what ifs. However, in the last 2 chapters, we got an ACOTAR crossover. But what it means is unclear. I need answers immediately, and I'm not sure what's next. I hope it all ends how I want it to, because if it doesn't, I will not be satisfied with the series. Which, it ended so good. I'm sure it will, but all the what ifs put me on edge. However, this book was amazing, so fast-paced, so much revealed and known, so much knowledge and power. It was well written and executed, except how it ended. I really hated the ending. I'm loving the whole storyline. All the side characters were given more depth and story as well. I'm sure there is more to be revealed. And that there was. That there was. Book 3, The House of Flame and Shadow. Loved. The ACOTAR crossover is given more depth. It is a big part of the book and what is revealed. We see the horn, the Star Sword, and then we learn about the death, I think it's the death trove in ACOTAR, and what that also relates back to the Star Sword and the horn. That revelation is like crazy. It is so crazy. You're like, these really, like, in the time periods, I'm like, are these happening at the same time, just different worlds, where one's modern, one's not? But, like, what's the time frame? What's the time period? Because Nesta specifically says she just became Fae. And I'm like, so they're happening simultaneously. They have to be. I don't know. I really don't. I think so. I don't know. Anywho, this is after they find out what was revealed about the Asteri that Danica found out in House of Sky and Breath. So, Bryce meant to go to Hell to get Hell's help to fight against the Asteri. Instead, she ended up in ACOTAR, which the horn, no, she thought it was the horn that was drawn there. It was the Star Sword that was drawn there because Truth Teller. Because they have a prophecy that when the 2 swords align, the people meet, the people will be brought together. So, she's bringing the people together. She ends up back in her world, and I forgot to mention, some of the side characters are more fire sprites, and obviously she has a soft spot for fire sprites. But she gets back to her world, and her and Hunt's relationship continues to just take off and really be electric, and they are the reason each other shines. They are each other's home. They love each other. It's so beautiful. I absolutely love this book. I couldn't put it down. I thought about it all the time. I love the series, and I cannot wait to reread it when book 4 comes out. And I absolutely couldn't recommend it enough, especially if you loved ACOTAR and Throne of Glass. You have to read it. I cannot believe I was putting it off for so long. I really can't. Like, I am such an idiot for trying to put that off. But, lo and behold, I picked it up and I loved it. And so much happened that it is hard to put it all into perspective because I don't want to spoil anything, and I really think you should just pick it up and read it because it is so worth it. And my review was a 5 out of 5 for this book and the whole series. Like, that ACOTAR crossover, it could have been so bad, but it ended up being so good and essential to the story. Like, so much is revealed, and then Bryce is just there to make a difference, and she does. And Hunt never leaves her side despite what she wants to. I mean, despite that he wants to, because he's hesitant about the rebellion and going against the Asteri because he's seen what happened before. And then there's some sweet moments in there as well. And then for Rune, he's finding love, and I don't know, they all just kind of mesh together well, so beautifully, and all the stories really come together and make a difference. And I can't recommend it enough. It was a 5 out of 5 series, which all her series have been, and if she makes another one, I will be the first in line to buy it. But she needs to hurry up and finish ACOTAR and Crescent City so I can reread them and do it again. So I gave it a 5 out of 5. Holy wow. What an amazing series and book. I loved every moment and every experience. The ACOTAR crossover was amazing and brought together so well, as were some other things. Truly so many shocking moments were revealed. It was well told. I have no complaints, no notes. Can't wait to reread this again when book 4 finally comes out. I'm at a loss for words. I was literally so speechless, just staring at a wall. I still think about it. It was so good. I love it. I can't complain. Go read it. As always, if there's anything you want me to read or review, please let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.